If you're standing in the shop, staring at a blank workbench, and wondering whether that little metal lathe you saw online is really worth the cash, you're not alone. I get it, there's a ton of gear out there promising to turn a hobbyist into a precision machinist, but most of us just want a tool that does what we need without turning our budget into a black hole. So before you click Add to Cart, let's talk about the ShopFox 6.10" Mini Metal Lathe M1015 and see if it actually fits the projects you have in mind. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the size of this machine is what draws a lot of people in. A 6x10" swing means you can comfortably turn small bar stock, nuts, bolts, and even some hobby-grade brass or aluminum parts that you'd typically need for a model build or a repair job. Because the lathe sits on a compact footprint, it's one of the few that will actually fit under a standard workbench or even on a sturdy garage shelf. That's a real advantage if you're living in a small apartment or sharing a workshop with a partner who needs space for other tools. But the trade-off for that compactness is the amount of material you can handle in one go. If you're planning on tackling larger shafts, say anything over 4 inches in diameter, you'll quickly run into the limits of the swing. The bed length, while sufficient for short runs, will also restrict the maximum turning length. In practice, this means the lathe shines when you're making things like custom knobs, small gear blanks, or fixing a rusted bolt that you can't source new. If your big projects involve turning 1-inch steel rods into precision shafts, you might find yourself wishing for a larger swing and a more robust spindle. Speaking of the spindle, the M1015 runs on a 1 or 3 horsepower motor. That's enough power to keep a steady pace on most hobby metals, but it won't cut through hardened steel like a shop floor CNC machine. I've seen hobbyists use it to finish a set of brass dowels for a woodworking project, and the results were smooth enough that the pieces required little to no post-processing. The lathe also includes a variable speed control, which gives you the flexibility to dial in the right RPM for different materials. What matters here is the feel of the speed knob. It's not a digital readout, but the incremental steps are fine enough that you can move from, say, 800 to 1,200 revolutions per minute without hunting for the sweet spot. Now, let's talk about the practical strengths that make the M1015 a decent entry point. The first is the built-in motor housing. Because the motor is mounted directly on the lathe's base, you don't have to worry about extra cabling or a separate power unit. This not only reduces clutter, but also keeps the whole setup more rigid. When you're cutting a delicate part, any flex in the power delivery can translate into surface chatter, and that's something this design mitigates reasonably well. The second strength is the quick change tool post. You can swap out the cutting tool in seconds, which is a real time saver if you're moving between turning a small piston head and then a decorative spindle. The tool holder accepts standard lathe tools, so you won't be forced into a proprietary system that limits your options. On the flip side, there are a few practical weaknesses that are easy to overlook until you actually start using the lathe. The chuck that comes with the M1015 is a basic 3-jaw model. It's fine for round stock, but if you need to grip irregular shapes or do indexing, you'll have to invest in a more specialized chuck or an accessory holder. Also, the lathe's base, while compact, doesn't have the massive cast iron weight of larger machines, so vibration can become noticeable if you're running higher speeds on softer metals. In a busy garage, that might not be a problem, but if you're working in a tight space where noise is a concern, you'll feel the hum. Adding a small anti-vibration mat can help, but it's an extra expense you didn't initially think about. Who should consider buying this lathe? If you're a hobbyist who needs a tool for occasional precision work, think model railroading, small-scale machining, or repairing household items, this machine hits the sweet spot. It's also a good teaching tool for someone new to turning. The manual controls force you to learn the basics of speed selection and tool positioning before you dive into advanced CNC programming. The price point is modest compared to full-size metal lathes, and for the budget-conscious maker, the value comes from getting a functional, reared a Touran machine without needing a dedicated shop floor. Who should skip it? Anyone whose workflow involves large diameter workpieces, heavy cutting loads, or continuous production runs will quickly feel the limits of a 6 by 10-inch swing and a 1/3 horsepower motor. Professional machinists or small businesses that need to maintain tight tolerances on steel shafts will likely,